Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Greeting Star. Today we're going to be making this card with a floral bouquet and some chalk from Pebbles Incorporated by Candy. And also I'm going to be using a stamp set by Martha Stewart Crafts. That's this stamp set right here. Has lots of flowers and butterflies and banners and such. And the Spellbinders die set. We'll also need some Versamark. And right here, I'm using the Spellbinders die just to trace a circle. I'm not using it to cut the paper. And I want the circle so I can give me sort of a guide for where to stamp. Now, since I'm going to be using Versamark ink, which is a clear ink, and then the chalk to go over it, I want to be very careful not to stamp on the pencil line, because when I'm finished, I'm going to erase the pencil line. So what I want to do is just make sure that I keep all of those stamps inside that circle with none of the stamp touching it at all. Excuse me. What I've done here is I've chosen flower stamps that are different sizes, and here's the Pebbles chalk that I'm going to be using. These chalks are the pastel colors. Unfortunately, I couldn't find, I can't remember where I bought them, and I'm going to try to link to them in the description below, but I couldn't find the pastel color on Amazon. They have all the other colors, but not the pastel. So anyway, so you can see here I'm just pouncing lightly to get this chalk on my page. And then that was, I think, either a dry baby wipe or a used dryer sheet. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm stamping in sets of 3, or at least I'm trying to do that with all of the flowers, because our eyes are naturally drawn to odd numbers of things. So if you do even numbers of things, your eye won't be as attracted to it. So that's why I'm doing it in 3s, or trying to. And you'll see here in a moment, I've got two different sizes of flowers. One is this size here that you're seeing. I'll call it large for, it's not a large stamp, but just for the sake of comparison to the other stamps I'm using, which will be smaller. And the smaller ones are basically the same stamp, just in a smaller size, so it looks like the same flower, but perhaps just a smaller bud or something. So you can see that here eventually when I'm done with these large ones. And I'm choosing these colors because I think that they go well together and makes a pretty bouquet. So this would be a card for a female. Now here are the smaller stamps, and when I'm done stamping, you'll be able to see here that they resemble the larger stamp of the same kind. And I tried to, again, I'm trying to do 3, but sometimes it's difficult to fit them all in. So see, that little one there looks just like the other one. And I'm keeping them the same color, purple, so that way you can tell easily that they're the same type of flower, just a smaller version of it. And I've sped this video up a little bit so you can kind of see, you know, there was some thinking process going on while I was doing this. You know, where am I going to put this stamp, and which one do I want to use first, and so on and so forth. So I kind of sped it up so you didn't have to watch that whole process. And then I was trying to decide what kind of leaves I wanted to have in the bouquet. And I have this one set here that has a flower as well, but I didn't want the flower portion. So I'm trying to ink only the leaf portion of it and then stamp it where I want it. And again, I'm trying to keep everything inside the circle right now. I know it doesn't really look like a bouquet yet, but it will. It'll look like a bouquet once I finish, because when I'm done stamping inside the circle, then I'm going to erase that pencil line and then go outside the circle, so it looks a little more natural. But you can see these leaves here on the inside. And there are still a few gaps that I think I'm trying to figure out what to do with. But I think it'll look more, like I said, it'll look more natural once I get this pencil line erased and I start stamping some leaves around the outer edges of it. It was really fun to create this card. I really enjoyed doing it. It's kind of fun to do this whole creative process where you're trying to think and plan where you want things to go. It's neat to see how it evolves too. So you can see here I also put a couple flowers on the outside just to make it, again, to make it look a little more natural. You can't really tell right now, but if you remember from the beginning of the video what the card looked like at the end, you'll see that it does resemble more of a you know, a bouquet of flowers once I get done. And this is another little leaf stamp that I have from a different stamp set. It's one of the Studio G stamp sets. Those are the more inexpensive stamp sets. I found a bunch of those at Walmart for 99 cents each, and I just bought a ton of them while they were there. They don't have them anymore, but Michaels does sell them sometimes. So that looks a little weird with just those two sticking up, but when I get done, I promise it'll look much better. And I continue to wipe off the excess dust from the chalk with my dry baby wipe or used dryer sheet, whichever one that is. I don't know. I can't remember. This would make a perfect Mother's Day card or a birthday card for a mom or a sister. So see, I'm still trying to fill in some of those blank spots inside the circle. And the interesting thing is too, later on when I start drawing the stems, then it really does look more like a bouquet as well. That really adds something to it once I draw the stems. And having the different foliage, the different leaf style, I think is important as well. So now I'm going to clean up my stamps, and then I'm going to get my I think I decided to do one more leaf here. Yep, that helps a lot. Now I'm going to use just a mechanical pencil here to draw in my stems so I can decide how I want these to look, and if I don't like it I can erase it. That's why I'm using a pencil. I'm also using a light hand so that if I need to erase it I can do so if I don't like how it looks. See, doesn't that look much more like a bouquet now with the stems? And then I'm going to use some markers to draw in the stems. This is what is this called? This is a Faber-Castell pen. It's a Pitt artist pen, P-I-T-T, and the ink in this is India ink, so it's permanent. There we go. And you know what, I added little like that one looks okay, but I think later I added some more of these stems inside the circle, and I don't think I like the way that ended up looking. Like if I would have stopped right here, but I think I went too far and I kept drawing and I shouldn't have. See, that just messed it up right there. Oh well. We live and we learn, right? Because that color's too stark and it breaks up the flowers. I wish I hadn't have done that. Oh well. It's not too bad, I guess. And then when I'm done with this, I add an actual ribbon that I tie around the bouquet at the bottom. What I do is I just poke 2 holes on either side of the stems, and I bring the ribbon through that and tie a bow to make my finished card. And I mat this on a piece of purple cardstock so that it brings out that purple color there. See, there I go. I just can't stop with the marker. Anyway, here's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed watching today, and visit me at my blog, greetingstar.org, or check out my ebook at Amazon. Thanks and have a great day.